9 warriors were born. When Parvati ran from her seat, unable to bear the heat generated by the 6 sparks emitted by the 6 phases of Lord Shiva, her anklets hit against each other and sounded sweet. 9 gems rolled out of the broken anklets. In each one of them, Devi's figure could be seen. Lord Shiva looked at them with love, and 9 Shaktis were born. All of them bowed before the Lord and wanted to unite with him. By God's grace, all of them became pregnant. When Parvati returned to her seat, relieved of her fears, she learned that God had created a son extraneously in deference to the wishes of the Devas, and she had lost an opportunity to bear him. She was so angry that she cursed all the Devas not to get children by their wives. When she looked at the 9 Shaktis, who looked like her but were somewhat different in their state of pregnancy, she got so wild with them also and cursed them, saying that they should not deliver their babies for a long time. They were so startled that they sweated profusely. A lack of warriors were born out of the sweat, and they all worshipped Lord Shiva. God blessed them by saying that they will help Lord Muruga to fight the Asuras. Immensely pleased, they praised him. All the 9 Shaktis were doing all errands for Devi Parvati. The babies belonged to Nandideva's clan, but because they were not delivered, they became big bulls inside the wombs. They were praying to Lord Shiva from the wombs, and 9 Shaktis were reeling in pain due to their weight. When Lord requested Devi to show pity on them, she agreed and withdrew her curse on them, making them deliver their kids. They were the 9 great warriors blessed by Parvati. Veerabahu was born to Manikavalli. Veerakesari was born to Muttuvalli. Veeramahendran was born to Pushparagavalli. Veeramaheshwaran was born to Komedagavalli. Veerapurendran was born to Vaiduryavalli. Veerarakshashan was born to Vajravalli. Veeramartandan was born to Maragadavalli. Veeradhiran was born to Indranilavalli. Just as Nandideva resembled his mother earth, these 9 warriors were like their mothers in color. Fully grown in size, they came through the navel like Lord Brahma. Clad in golden silks, they bowed before Lord Shiva. "They are all handsome and intelligent sons for us," said Lord Shiva, and Parvati also blessed them. Lord gave each one of them a dazzling sword and asked them to serve his son Lord Muruga with the lakh soldiers already born. The 9 warriors took leave of the Lord and reached the abode of Lord Muruga, taking his service as directed. 9 Shaktis continued to serve Parvati as before. The divine couple at the Saravanam with their son. After the 9 warriors left, Lord Shiva told Parvati that he wanted to bring their son Muruga to Mount Kailash. In order to redress the grievances of the Devas, I had created Muruga out of the sparks from my forehead eyes. He is now at Saravana Lake, and the 6 Kritika girls were taking care of him. Let us go and get him here. Parvati readily agreed, and both left for Saravanam with their celestial group of men. Lord Shiva asked Devi to bring their son to him. She happily took the 6 children playing around the lake, and now there was one lovely child with 6 faces and 12 hands. As 6 forms were made into one form, he was named Kandan, Tamil version of Skandan, which means united by Lord Shiva. When Devi hugged the child with all her love, milk was flowing from her breasts. She collected it in a beautiful bowl and fed the child. She took him to Lord Shiva, who blessed him. God took the child on his lap and made Devi sit on his left side. This posture is called Somaskanda Murtam. All gods and devas enjoyed this darshan of the divine family and showered flowers on them. Lord called the Kritika girls and told them, "As our son was brought up by you, he will be called Kartigeyan, and anyone who worships him on the day of your star Kartigai will be blessed by him for all their desires." When Devi fondled Muruga with joy, her breast began to secrete so much of milk that it was flowing into the Saravana lake. 6 sons of sage Parasara were living as the fish in that lake due to a curse of their father. When they drank Devi's breast milk mixed in the water, they got liberated from the curse. All of them got back their human forms and reached the banks of Saravana. When they bowed before Lord Shiva, he blessed them and asked them to proceed to Tirupurana Kundram. They were told that the Lord Muruga will come there to give them guidance to attain salvation. Lord Shiva then reached Mount Kailash back with Devi and Murugan. The 9 warriors and the lakhs soldiers also followed them to Mount Kailash to serve the Lord. Deva Senapati. At Mount Kailash, Kandan was happily playing with his brothers. As he ran hither and thither, his anklet belt sounded sweetly, and his ornaments were glittering on his chest. He will go into the lakes and take lotus flowers from there. Next moment, he will climb the peaks of the mountains and play hide and seek. Devi was enjoying his funny childish pranks and asked the Lord, "Oh my Lord, even as a child, Muruga is so much interesting and thrilling. I would like to know more about his greatness and glory." "My dear Devi, Muruga has been born from the sparks of my eyes. Hence, he will be as powerful as I am. As he was carried by river Ganga, he will also be known as Gangeyan. As he took a definite form at Saravana Lake, his popular name will be Saravana Bhavan. As you had united the 6 forms into one, Kanda befits him admirably. All my 6 faces have become his now. Hence, he gets the name as Shanmugan or Armugan also. My Panchakshara, that is 5 syllables, Namah and the Taraka mantra Om have united to become Sadakshara. He is none other than me. He will also be omnipresent. He can take any form. He will protect all those who surrender unto him. He will annihilate Surapadman and all other asuras in order to help Devas." Muruga's playfulness crossed the frontiers of Mount Kailash. His pranks could be seen all over, up and down. Mountains were pushed aside without any effort. He will stand on Meru, which will start shivering. All the 7 seas will flow into one another. High peaks will sink low. Vasuki and other snakes were his toys. Ganges and other rivers suddenly used to stand still. All the 8-guard elephants, Ashtadigajas, will fight with each other. Sun will travel to the region of the moon, and vice versa was also true. All these were child's play for Muruga. Though they were harmless, people in all the 3 worlds were greatly astonished. Devas could not decipher whether they were mere transitory pranks of the child Muruga or the tricks of the wicked asuras. If they were the handiwork of asuras, they would have harmed Devas. But it was not so. Taraka and other asuras on earth were confused as they were beyond the capacity of Devas. Muruga had a lot of fun doing such mischief, staying away somewhere invisible for all. Though Devas knew pretty well that the asuras had not been doing these acts, they could not rest in peace. Highly inquisitive, they proceeded to Mount Meru to check the facts with Indra. As he did not know the answer, all of them went to see Lord Brahma. There they saw a boy who caught the peaks of Mount Meru as if he was plucking flowers from a garden. This was the boy they were very much wanted to meet. But can a small boy do such things? Is it some illusion created by asuras? If so, they wanted to fight the boy. So Indra called his elephant Airavatam, got on its back and aimed his arrows at the naughty boy. None of the Devas could identify Muruga, who wanted to prove his prowess to them and allay their fears. With all their anger, they attacked the little boy. From all the 4 sides, the arrows fell as flowers on him. Even then Indra could least imagine that this was the divine child who was being sent to rescue them from the clutches of asuras. With doubted anger, he pushed forward Airavatam and attacked the boy. Saravanan thought of a bow and arrow. When he returned the fight and shot an arrow, it went straight to pierce the trunk of Airavatam, which fell down with a thunderous noise. Muruga's next arrow made Indra fall down on earth. Devas were aghast with fear. They still did not recognize the small boy as to who he was. Varuna, Yama, Vayu, Chandra, Agni and their soldiers crowded there. Saravanan encountered them with a smile. He hit them all together with 5 arrows and all of them fell flat. The rest fled the scene and Muruga stood there all alone with none to fight with. Sage Narada heard the news and ran to Devaguru Brahaspati. O Brahaspati, Devas have not recognized Muruga who has been created by Lord Shiva to alleviate their sufferings. Hence they are fighting with him, and the result is Indra, Vayu, Varuna and others have been struck down by Muruga. You should rush there before things become worse. On hearing Narada, Brahaspati rushed to Meru mountain and fell at the feet of Lord Muruga. My lord, kindly forgive the Devas for their stupid mistake. In fact, they were happy that you have been born to save them from asuras like Taraka, Singamukha and Surapadman. They are always thinking of you only. They are not your enemies. Due to their ignorance, they have not recognized you. Do parents ever punish their own children? You can point out their foolish mistakes and correct them. Kindly forgive them and do not harbor anger against them. Please pardon them gracefully and turn your anger against the asuras, he said. Kandan, who was embodiment of kindness, smiled. Devas who were dead came back to life with wisdom dawned on them. They recognized their savior in Kandan. They regretted their mistakes, fell at his feet and begged his pardon. My dear Devas, do not fear anyone from now. Asuras will be done away with in no time. You thought I was a small boy and hence came to fight with me. I will show you my true self now. You can be rest assured of my strength. Next moment, Muruga took his gigantic form, which was so fearful for Devas. They begged of him to change his Vishwarupam to a pleasant form. Kandan gave them the wisdom to see him fully. They saw in him the entire universe, the 8 directions encompassing the 7 worlds, the mountains, the 7 oceans, Chakravalagriam, and all the rest of the things were clearly visible. Struck with great wonder, they praised him. My lord, we have seen the entire universe in you, your formless and also the unique form embracing the infinity. We have seen you from head to toe. You are the only one who can save us from asuras. You had made many things topsy-turvy to prove your prowess to us. Kindly restore them to their places. Kandan granted their prayers. Indra approached him now and said, We want to formally worship you. Kindly give us permission. Kanda agreed. Immediately, Vishwakarma erected a beautiful temple on a mountain peak where there was a huge hall glittering with gems and exquisite royal seat. Kandan was made to sit there after a ceremonial bath, duly decorated with gorgeous silks and precious jewelry. They garlanded him and offered their ritualistic worship. Indra, as the representative of Devas, asked him to accept all of them as his subjects and also rule the entire world, duly crushing all the evil asuras. Kandan gave back the kingdom to Indra and asked them again not to worry about asuras. Indra bowed before Lord Muruga and said, You are my master, we are your soldiers. You shall guide us through any fight to suppress the evil forces. So praising the Lord, they worshipped him from then on. Kandan became their commander-in-chief, Deva Senapati. The mountain where Kandan was worshipped was known as Kandagiri from then on.